What's going on, guys? 360 Digital Closing Bell here. I am your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, joined live on YouTube from an undisclosed location here in Denver, Colorado, by the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com, Stuart Turley, who's coming at us from Dallas. How you doing, Stu?
I'm doing fantastic, Michael. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It is a gorgeous day, and unfortunately, it was a bloodbath in the markets today. Before we get into that, please just subscribe 360 Digital Closing Bell, iTunes, Spotify, or Intercom's YouTube channel. We really appreciate all the support. As I mentioned, absolute bloodbath in the markets today. U.S. stocks tumbling 12, not 12 percentage points, excuse me, but most in their past 12 weeks. So it's been unbelievable. Treasury 10-year yields down to basically their 12-week low. SPY just closing above 3,000 at 3,002. That's a 180-point drop, or about 5.86% off the index. Tech stocks closing at 96.07. That's about a 480-point drop, or about 5 percentage points off that index. Dow Jones getting hit really hard, down 7 percentage points, or about 1,800 points. You want to talk about panic selling, down to 25,000 for the 25,128 for the Dow Jones. You want to talk about algo-driven selling, when that sentiment on a lot of these algos, which is about 80% of the way stocks or equities specifically are traded, are through algorithms. So when that sentiment on those algorithms change, woohoo, you can get some very panic selling, and you see it today in these indexes. Crude oil doesn't get helped as well on, really off some really terrible coronavirus news. It sounds like there could be a little upstart in that due to some of the things that have been happening over the past couple of weeks. The oil down 36.19 currently trading at for that front month contract. That's down 8.6%, or about 340 on that, $3.40. 12-month strip not doing just as bad, $38.38, just breaking below that 40 mark, down $2.69 to 6. It's about 6 percentage points off that. Natural gas is the only positive light here, up 1.9% to $1.81 on the day. So a nice little hedge for our 360 official, non-official fund, doing well there. 12-month strip back into the curve for natural gas, $2.87. It's about a 1.2% percentage points increase. So natural gas, our only bright spot. And here's where some of these red numbers are. XOP, as we know, has been up for the past couple of days, down yesterday, gets hammered today, 55.90. That's down $5.80, or about 9 percentage points off the index. OIH, which are oilfield services contract, down even more, down $21 to $126. That's a 15% movement on the index. Like I said, an absolute bloodbath. And when we look at our biggest losers on the day, Telluride Inc., they're down to $1.19, up down 23 percentage points. Amphibly Energy Corporation, $1.47, only down 25 percentage points. Grand Terra Energy, down to 37 cents, down to 25 percentage points. And to be honest with you, that's, those numbers aren't as high as you would necessarily expect. So that just means as a broad index, U.S. energy equities were down as a whole. It wasn't just propagated towards one side or the other, because that mean is going to mean you only had 4 stocks on the upside, and they were Mesa Royalties Trust. They were up 1 percentage point to $6.27. Whiting Petroleum, who's currently bankrupt, $1.59, up 1.2 percentage points. And Chesapeake Energy up 4 percentage points to 1764. So an interesting list of upside companies. Please, guys, before we get into the international news desk, Entercom is hosting the Oil and Gas Conference, which is the place to get all of your investor news. If you are in the finance side of the oil and gas business, you will want to attend this. Digital, global, there's a lot of different phrases they're working out for it, but there's going to be both a digital and a limited in-person only, depending on what city you're in. So you should go to the oilandgasconference.com to check out all of the details. What's on the international news desk for us today, Stu?
Hey, thanks, Michael. Tell you what, there's a lot going on, especially with that global conference we got coming up, where I don't want to tease it too much, but we got international going on that global.
Woohoo! Don't we ever?
All right. Hey, on the news desk, we got Putin's anger over the environmental damage may drive modern reforms.
Yep.
It's going to be fun to watch that one. We covered this story early on as the Russian Arctic major spill is about as bad as the Exxon Valdez. It's horrible. Lebanon could have their tankers seized by a Eurobond holder, says the minister. That's also on our news desk. And ExxonMobil eyes LNG to power projects in Vietnam. And we also have another one coming up a little later today. but it looks like ExxonMobil is looking to sell some of their North Sea assets. So we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, I'm reading this. Exxon, the Russian Arctic spill, 21,000 tons of diesel fuel. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
It's a
That is
mess.
no chunk of change.
No, it's a mess.
Oh my goodness. You can check out all of these stories on the 360 News Desk on the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com. In terms of U.S. shale, just a couple things came across my desk. I mean, obviously, as everybody knows, on May 29th, CRC, California Resources Corporation, missed interest payments on term loans. So they entered a 30-day grace period with lenders. And June 14th is sort of their drop dead date. And that's coming up here, Monday morning, Sunday. So Monday morning, we will know whether or not CRC is will either be in default or have figured something out. So that's something to watch. They were a big slumper today. Another a company we really like here on the show, Northern Oil and Gas, ticker symbol NOG. They bought for about 1.5 million in cash, 320 acres up in the Williston from WPX. This is supposed to generate about, they're saying $12 million a year moving forward when they develop this, hopefully in early 2021. As everybody, as you know, it was about a 55% capital budget slash for Northern. They're down to about $200 million, down from about $440 million that they used to have. Just an update on Hurricane Cristobal. We covered this early this week. Majority of it, there was no real huge fallout from that. So thank goodness nobody was hurt. All the evacuations were what they needed to, but there's still about 13% of that Gulf production that's still offline. That represents about 40,000 barrels. There was about 200,000 barrels that came on specifically between June 10th and 11th. So that is, as we talk about this morning. So there was about 35, as we remember, shut in of U.S. Gulf production before the storm, which was about 635,000 barrels. So not a decent chunk of change getting shut in, but luckily nothing happened. When I, scanning everything else, that's everything I'm seeing on the market right now. Stu, we got anything else for him?
No, just busy news.
Busy news. We'll be cutting the 360 Digital Closing Bell week look back podcast right after this. So stay tuned for that. You can check that out on iTunes, Spotify, and Entercom's YouTube. But we're going to go ahead and let you guys get back to work and finish your day. Thank you for checking out the 360 Digital Closing Bell. We'll see you guys tomorrow.